Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, place of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Easy wins, easy life, easy commentary, having a good time. Kane, look who we got our Canes on now. Hold on here. RFVJVTKP. So last run I said, you know what, we really shouldn't have done Boss Rush. It was a waste of our time just to get Eden's Blessing. And then you go ahead and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. We're starting our Kane run with Book of Revelations. This is wonderful. You couldn't ask for too much more than that. Yo, and a Joker card? Okay, it turns out you could ask for a little bit more. Now, thanks to Book of Revelations, we're safely able to get Brimstone. Please do not walk on any spikes. I was like, hey, Burmy. Please don't walk on the wild spikes. I'm even gonna open this. I'm feeling in that good of a mood. What a run, man! I mean, it could still go terribly wrong, but what this run has turned me into a YouTuber. Look at all this. What is happening? Right out of the gate. This is the best first floor I've ever seen. I don't even want to take an aggregate now. We still got an item room left to go. What do we got in here? Dead onion, that's all, it's piercing shots. So, I mean, obviously our shot speed is now horrendous, but what on earth? So, we got Little Brim. Well, let's start, be honest, you know. We got Cube of Meat, Book of Revelations, Fate, 1 HP upgrade pill, piercing shots via Dead Onion, damage upgrade via Steven. Like, okay, the range down is actually pretty bad, but this is insane. That literally, I mean, you can obviously get better than these items in this combination, but as far as one unexpected floor goes, that's out of control. I was already in a good mood because I've been talking. You know, I finished my Subnautica stream. There's a little downtime in Subnautica, and I love the game, by the way. I'm not saying the fact that it's not all, you know, is a bad thing. In fact, I was thinking about it when I was watching, you know, How to Train Your Dragon. And again, I recognize it's a kid's movie, but I was reminded that in movies that are made for a more, you know, an older audience, effectively, there's a little bit more downtime. They're not as hesitant to have like slow moments, and that was kind of something that I wouldn't say annoyed me, but I noticed while watching How to Train Your Dragon is that there's constantly like somebody's off screen falling upside down into a pile of dragon dung and going like, you know. Whereas in, you know, quieter movies, they're not afraid to give the content a little bit of space to breathe, so to speak. But there's some downtime to talk about stuff. So we were talking about YouTube content, and I mentioned, you know, I want to do more YouTube content, not just Isaac and Slay the Spire, even though, I mean, I want to do that in addition to this other stuff I'm going to talk about. I started to get to talking, and I was like, you know, I'd like to do some more multiplayer stuff, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 videos a week. You know, we got a crew of people who still do stuff on YouTube and people that are predominantly on Twitch that would probably be around to do multiplayer stuff. Like, you know, I'm just throwing out some examples. You know, last year, The Nightmare, Escape from Tarkov, maybe a little hint for the future. Super Smash Brothers on a more, like, you know, fun but also competitive level, and you know, even maybe some recorded Binding of Isaac 4 Souls or something like that. And people were like, well, why don't you do it? And I went, well, you see, you don't understand. It's sort of like, and then I went, wait a minute, you're right, why don't I just do it? So I've been talking to a couple of people, including Dan and Mathis so far. I was starting to get some, and you know, it's not, I've been trapped in this, like, you know, 1 a day sort of mindset for a long time. Like, if I do something, I gotta do 7 of them a week. Nobody in our group, myself included, has the time to be like, yeah, I'll throw, I got another 7 video space in my schedule for stuff to do. So I was like, you know, no pressure, you know, a couple of videos of multiplayer stuff a week would be really cool. They seem like they're in. I'm a happy man. Might be seeing some new YouTube content soon. Multiplayer stuff. Fun people, fun games, Papa John's. Ludo is a positive for us right now. It might not look like it. Ludo Fruitcake is causing the occasional problems. But it does beat what we had going on earlier with our low shot speed, I think. Although I'm having some trouble, as you can see. I don't know, this run is just... Nothing on this run can ever compromise the fact that the first floor was so amazing. Nothing can take that away from us. But yeah, I'm excited, like I have been. Here's the thing, and I'm just speaking to you in brass tacks. I think it's been a good time for content. You know, Minecraft, Smash are really good. Isaac and Slay the Spire are steady. You either, you know, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. You know where you stand on those for sure. There's space for me to do more stuff on YouTube right now, but the problem is, and I mentioned this on Reddit too, I was like, I don't want to start a series and then find myself, you know, 20 episodes in, I'm like, I'm only a third of the way through the game, but I kind of lost my luster for it, so I was, you know, I kind of had the luxury, I guess, of waiting a little while to choose my next quote-unquote project. And I think this would be a fun thing to spend some time on. Dark Bum, good pickup, obviously. Feeling real strong about this run. I'll tell you what we want, what we really, really want, is some shot speed. Where is... Oh, he's a little tiny boy up there. You know what? We've seen the devil deal on this floor. I just want to go back and get the shot. Shot speed is so important. Because, like, as you can see, I mean, we can use our orbital. We can use little brims to get done whatever needs to get done. But, you know, at some point, we're going to want to use our tiers. So, yeah, I look forward to your suggestions as well. It's hard because, like, I want to do multiplayer stuff, but a lot of people in our group don't do YouTube stuff anymore. Which is, and I understand the optics of that, you know, more than anybody, really. But, it's, or the optics for why, I should say. But, I don't really, you know, I feel weird, and this is not meant as a slight to Austin or Rob at all. But, like, I feel weird about asking them, because they might say yes, and then just do the video and donate their time, and then not post the video. And I'm like, man, wouldn't they rather be doing something else with their time if they're not going to post the video? And then a voice in my head goes, man, that's not for you to decide, that's for them to decide. And, you know, maybe even if they're not posting the video, they're having a good time just being there to begin with. And I go, but yeah, but they're kind of like, you know, I'm doing it to have fun, but also because it's a job, and, like, feel like there's an imbalance there. It's a tricky thing. So having a more informal kind of multiplayer thing, I think, would be nice. I know people are also like, we want to get back to... On the subreddit, there were some posts that were like, I miss some of NL's series where, like, he made some of the most brain-dead decisions I've ever seen. Literally, they were like, we never see moments anymore like that time you deleted a wall in Prison Architect and let all the inmates escape. Or, you know, did you know that you screwed up so bad in RimWorld once the developer actually added a new tutorial into the release build of the game? And I was like, I did not know that. But thanks for reminding me that I am terrible. I don't mean that. I'm actually, like, that. As bizarre as it is kind of flattering. Like, if you're gonna do something, you might as well be the best at it, even if it's being really, really bad at multiple strategic video games. I mean, Prison Architect has multiplayer now. There's all sorts of things rattling around in my dome now. Basically, you know, like the multiplayer stuff that Mathis and I would make together. Right now, I'm imagining that, but with other people. Now, let's just hope this project actually comes to fruition, because otherwise, well, first, I'll be very sad, but then secondly, this video will be a harbinger of bad omens, but I don't want to get people excited for no reason. But still. Feels good. I mean, I haven't really had a new YouTube project necessarily. I mean, we did Hitman stuff for a while, like a Hitman Ghost Mode, and that was cool. There's been the occasional Let's Look at, but definitely not as many as I would like to do. Well, if you want to do more, why don't you just do them? Yeah, but, like, it's a whole thing. So, like, okay, good point. But, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. Like, maybe I should stop worrying so much about, like, well, is this going to be a good YouTube series for 60 episodes? And just start making videos. I'm not in a slump on YouTube, or at least in terms of my content creation in general. I feel like it's been a great few months, honestly. But, you know, always look into the horizon for other stuff to do as well. I think I've got myself, like, mentally to this point where I'm like, you know, all videos have to hit, like, a preconceived notion of what's going on in a series. I think I could probably get away with just, you know, playing some games 1 or 2 times, and people would find that enjoyable. Myself included. Good. Rate of fire increase. I don't care about the shovel. Let's be honest. We're in an amazing spot here. I do want to get to treasure room. I really wanna. Yo, there's a reason we kept this trinket. Sorry, I got a little nut throat again. I don't know if anybody else gets this. When I eat granola or nuts, it like the little particulate, it like affixes itself to my esophagus. I gotta drink like 2 liters of water to get it out of there. You may have heard me mention it before, but my year, and you know, I'm recording this pretty early on in February. My year is really divided into, I mean, it's divided in many different ways, but it's partially divided into 2 by what I call like the holiday dichotomy. Between May and December, there's almost, well, between June and December, there's 1 personal holiday. My birthday. I never do anything special for my birthday. It's not, again, media has brainwashed a lot of people into thinking like, you don't do something special for your birthday. Ooh, what that means is we should throw a surprise party for it. No. I don't want a surprise party. I want to go out for a nice meal and, you know, introspectively reflect on the year that's passed, and reflect on getting older, and then go home at a reasonable hour. That, I got BFF. I'm very happy for it as well. And I like that. It's not that I have a low self-esteem and I feel my birthday is unworthy of observance. It's not like that. It's that I, you know, I am what I am, and that's all I am. I like my quiet nights. It's the opposite of a hold steady song. Item room, please. But then, you know, we're in the thick of it on the other side of the year. Let's just January 1st, New Year's. Middle of January, wife's birthday. End of January, my mother-in-law's birthday. So we're going out to dinner with her tonight. A couple days late, but, you know, everybody's busy. End of February, my mom's birthday. And then you're pretty much good after that, but I mean, Valentine's Day in the middle of February for sure, and then our anniversary in May. So, you know, you're getting holidays like bam, 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 bam. I'm resisting the notion to say thank you, ma'am, at the end of it, but I'm happy there's only a few of them left this year. It's always stressful, you know. I would much prefer if the holidays were stretched out a little bit, but I mean, it's nobody's fault. I'm just saying, you know, like on a personal level, it feels like December to Valentine's Day especially is like, you know, you're on the clock. If you know what I mean. When you got Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day, all synced within, you know, 6 weeks of one another. It's a big time of the year for sure. Ooh. We have a second, you know what, I think I am going to take Guppy's head. You know why? Because this run is like so unbelievably, completely, obviously set from the get-go. We're super lucky. I'm very grateful for the run that we've been given. I really doubt we're going to need the HP, and all of our range problems have been sorted out for us. If we need HP, we also have Dark Bum, which I totally forgot about, but, you know, should not because it's extremely great. Alrighty. Item room, please. I'm not complaining. It's nice to have, you know, like a rich life. Everybody's celebrating something at all times. I don't know where to go from that. It's basically the end of that expression. Alrighty. What should we do on this run? I mean, we could do boss rush. I'm really only gonna feel like I would need to do boss rush if we get something truly exceptional from boss rush, so no pressure there. This has gotta go down. I mean, we're stalling for time, if I'm being frank. I'm Ryan, but I'll do what I can. Spice things up. We're stalling for time at 13 minutes in on Dank Depths 2. So, we've gotten what I would describe as like pretty much a 10 out of 10 run. And we've gotten a 10 out of 10 run early. That's not very common. We could do something with that, but I don't think it's necessary. Ooh. Let's not and say we did. So I'm going to take the gift. We are going to get a deal with the devil. We'll pop this in there, see if we can get something even better. Really, at this point, just piercing shots of some variety. And I don't even know how we would get that now that I think about it, but I wouldn't turn up my nose at it. Let's put it that way. I really hit both of the locks in this room, huh? Not my finest moment. Empty Vessel will be another good get, just for the invincibility. Krampus, you might notice, is not likely to have any of these items. We'll take Mark, and Mark's pretty good. Okay, say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hi, Mark. I was angling for a reason not to have to do boss rush. And then we get the mulligan as our item from boss rush. With among esteemed company, I might add. There were some viable options going on. You got it. There were some viable options going on in here. But the mulligan is extremely great. Very, very good stuff working out for us here. Well, I'm sorry, Kate's mom. You're just going to have to wait a little longer for dinner tonight. Is he joking? No, I mean, we are going out to dinner like right as soon as this video's over, but there's enough time. I looked at it and I said, 19 minutes? That's enough time for an Isaac run. No problem. I'm like, as long as we're squandering the whole episode by talking about Inside Baseball YouTube stuff, I realized the new From Software game comes out soon. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boys. I'm starting to feel, how am I going to play that game? I want to play it. I'm itching for a From Software game. Dark Souls found itself on the poll for subscriber stream games for a while. Dark Souls 2, I should say. Can't break through. Consistently getting like a fifth of the votes. It's a third-party candidate at this point to the Zeldos of the world. That's okay, but I gotta play Sekiro. I'm itching. I got space in my life for a From Software title. Played Bloodborne tonight is Super Bowl Sunday right now. It was like a year ago. I remember I was playing Bloodborne because I went to my friend Corey's house, twitch.tv/FlackBlag, and he was watching the Super Bowl. And he was like, how was Bloodborne today? And I was like, it was okay, except I fought the one Reborn, and for some reason the frame rate made me want to throw up. But I got better. And that, I gotta be honest, Dark Souls 1 obviously holds a special place in my heart, but if push came to shove and you asked me, what's your favorite Souls game? I might be inclined to say Bloodborne. Not just as a hipster choice, but also, by the way, great idea for an SNL sketch. It wouldn't be one of the first 45 minutes, but one of the ones that plays after the musical guest. The analog to the Teen Choice Awards, the Hipster's Choice Awards. It writes itself. It's lazy, but doable. Can you come up with like a single bit or a proof of concept? Oh, you'd like that very much if I did your job for you. Wouldn't you? And the Hipster's Choice Award for Best Marvel Movie goes to The Incredible Hulk. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I saw it in theaters. 10 years ago. We need to find a place to use Book of the Dead. Where am I going with this joke? Look, anyway. It is the hipster's choice, but I think it's also, whoops, probably my actual favorite. Dark Souls 1, played through remastered, you know, 6 months ago. Great game, holds up. But a lot of my love for Dark Souls is steeped in two different things. One of them is, well, there's two things, and they're both charlatans. One is familiarity, and the other one is nostalgia. So I like, you know, a lot of my fond memories of Dark Souls 1 are tied to nostalgia. It being my first Souls game, and, you know, playing through it before the zeitgeist of Dark Souls, to be honest. Like, I bought that game when it was still an Xbox 360 PS3 jam. Now, I wasn't there in the Demon Souls era. You know, I'll level with you there. People were there before me for sure. But, you know, I was there relatively on the early side. But then, on top of that, you know, so there's the nostalgia for sure of like beating that game for the first time and the thrill of that. But then also familiarity. I think the more familiar you are with something, the more likely you are to enjoy it. And I know they say, like, you know, familiarity breeds contempt. I kind of disagree when it comes to, like, music, any media. I think the more familiar you are with something, the more inclined you are to like it, to be honest. But I don't know, something about the Lovecraftian influence on Bloodborne really gets my motor running. Head out on the highway. Please let me go up to the cathedral today. And 8 people wake up, and now they unsubscribe, and thanks for being here. I'm sorry. You ever wonder why Dan Carlin doesn't do that in his podcasts? He does, actually. You know, my sensei, my media senpai, Dan Carlin. You'll be listening to a Hardcore History episode half asleep, and then he'll put on a vocal filter and be like, I am here to destroy the world, to tear asunder your people, you know, and end quote. That's a Hardcore History joke. If you haven't seen, come back in 100 hours after you listen to 10 or 20 Hardcore Histories. You'll get it. Everyone, it's iconic. End quote. He's eased up on it a little bit. I don't care either way. I sleep like a freaking rock these days. The only thing that wakes me up is the sound of one of my sons vomiting. And I'm up like a friggin' shot. That or our fire alarm. It's another one I think you want to wake up for. Ever tell you the story about how one of my, I mean, he became a roommate of mine later in life, but in our first year of college, he was just the guy who lived in the dorm room next to us. Small Rock. We went out for breakfast at the cafeteria one morning, and he was there, and we were like, hey man, where were you at the fire alarm last night? Like the fire drill, I didn't see you. Did you go through like a different exit? And he's like, ha ha ha, very funny. And then we were like, no really? And he's like, oh, I just slept through it. You guys, he thought we were messing with him. Like he thought there was no fire alarm and we were just having a giggle. Anyway, he's dead. No, he's not. Dead to me, but no. I'm just having a laugh. Trying to inject a little bit of flavor in the video. It's called art. Look it up, sweetheart. By the way, in case you thought that was ever gonna end, there was a post on my subreddit today that said, look it up, sweetheart is the best meta in years. So, as a result of that one comment, you can direct all negative criticism of look it up, sweetheart meta to that person now. Because I got one piece of positive reinforcement, so I'm letting it ride. It's called psychology. Look it up, sweetheart. Double flies. Extremely nice. Dude, we have 5 luck. No doubt, I'll call it. This is probably the strongest run we've had in like a month. We say it from time to time. I feel like I probably say that once a week. But this time I really mean it, dude. Short of becoming Guppy, this is like, is of staggering value. And I will never forget how quickly it popped off, too. That's the most ridiculous part. Every chest we opened on the first floor was like, hey, here's the ability to fly. Hey, here's a damage upgrade. And, you know, not to mention, just to begin with, Eve's blessing, or Eden's blessing, sorry, giving us the ability to actually gain HP, which is mission critical early on. It's worth a lot. We don't need your health protection. We don't need your azure hearts. That's what we're calling them from this point on, forward. Your hearts turn to ash in my throat hole. Okay, that doesn't maybe work on the improv, but 3, 2, 1, go. Edmund, leave my streak alone. And then it goes, wham, wham. Hey, Edmund, leave my streak alone. I should use that as my karaoke song. I feel like you don't need to sing that well to sing The Wall. I'm not saying you don't, like, they didn't have great vocal talents in Pink Floyd. I'm just saying in that song in particular, I think you can get away with, as long as you can just put on a really, really bad Monty Python-esque British accent. We don't need no education. It'll totally work, dude. That's gonna bring the house down at the seniors' home next time I'm there. Oi! Teacher! Leave those kids alone. I'm ready. Go ahead. Crack it. No, 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 no. And by no, 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 of course, what I mean is, yes, we will do this. All right, boys. Probably speed this one up just a little bit. I don't even want the stat upgrade because it's gonna ruin permanent Polaroid invincibility, which is, you know, a big deal for me right now. I mean, it's also highly unnecessary. I am happy at least we got to do a victory lap on this run. Getting a ton of spirit hearts. What is happening? It's another interesting floor. Very good for the straw, I might add, to double your damage even if it does cost you half your rate of fire. Not that we need the statistical analyses of where we stand right now, because not sure if you noticed, but pretty sure this run is going to come ahead in the W camp. So far, so good. And I'm actually, like, this. I squeezed this video in a very narrow time frame. So I hope you know that not only was I not rushing, I did boss rush and also threw in an extra forget-me-now on the final floor here, because I was worried it was going a little bit too fast. But beyond all this, I'm glad it's my last Isaac run of the day so that I'm not going to be much at the risk of highway blindness. Because if I was doing another run after this, if I didn't get 12 damage by the end of the first floor, I would be like, you know what? This sucks. I'm not doing this. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.